Hello, I'm Klaus with Ambient. Welcome to Sound Summit Fall 2020, and today I'm going to show you what we've been cooking up since the spring event. So one thing is we recently discontinued the Master Lockit and Master Lockit Plus, and some of you might have been wondering what we would be coming up with next. So there's a lot of speculation being going on if it would be the Power Lockit that we've been teasing now for a while, but down the road it turned out it would be too complicated, too expensive and too special. So we took a step back, scratched our heads and came up with the Lockit Plus. It's not ready for market yet, so I beg you a couple of months more patience, but it is advanced enough to today show you the exciting features of our upcoming flagship. Okay, so what's the Plus? The original Master Lockit Plus was named so because the extra feature of lens data recording, and of course the Lockit Plus has this feature as well, but it has so many more. With simultaneous output for SMPTE, MIDI timecode, Genlock, word clock, pulse per frame, dedicated serial interfaces for recorders, cameras and lenses. It is the most versatile unit we ever built. So that's a huge plus already, but that's not even all. But plus also because we designed it as a fully modular concept. So in fact, it's Lockit plus something. And this something is what we call tails. And depending on the tail, you will see varying interconnections, but it also ticks configuration boxes for you to help you to tame the flood of possibilities. These tails will be released by and by. And in order of appearance and of course of utmost interest for you sound mixers, welcome the Tonmeister tail. So what do you care about video sync and lens data, right? So when you put this on, it will pre-select word clock as a sync format. It will enable the recorder control function in the web interface. It has sideway outlets, so you can put it in a bag without jamming the cables. On one side you have the power input and timecode and metadata control for your recorder. On the other side you have triple USB for powering, MIDI timecode and data transmission. So basically the Master Lockit as you knew it, if you only knew. It becomes a bit more tricky when it comes to the Superslot tail, which is a standard that is now found on cameras and recorders alike. As timecode and sync are actually part of the Superslot standard, no external cabling are required when used on units with full implementation. But Superslot is so much more. We have learned to know and love what sound devices in Arton have achieved by communicating with receivers that support that standard. It's technically not 100% correct, but for the moment, let's look at ACN being a timecode radio link that now can become an integral part of your recorder's interface. And then there's metadata, which has been an essential piece of the ACN when we introduced it almost 10 years ago. So think of what we have achieved down the road by transmitting additional information derived over serial connection. And guess what? A serial connection is part of Superslot too. So why not embrace this? Make our API available over this connection and allow recorders to become mission control for timecode and metadata. But as said, it also works on cameras, and in case it is not a Superslot camera, you can easily tap timecode and Genlock on top of the unit itself. And in case there is no slot in on the camera, there will be camera tails. And this is where the true power of the unit becomes unleashed. While Superslot has 25 pins, the edge connector in the unit quadruples this count. So we have anywhere to go from compact sandwich plates topping out with what we've been showing with the Power Lockit concept. The most versatility, however, will be found in the studio tail. Less a tail than a rack mount intended for DITs, video villages, OB vans, studios, and of course these over-the-top sound cards. When put into this, the Lockit Plus transforms into a full ACN Studio Master Clock with multiple parallel buffered outputs for timecode, word clock, Genlock, and PPF. So we have seen where this unit may go. Now let's look how to operate it. First of all, it has the physical interface from our Lockit, which lets you initiate a sync from the internal real-time clock in the morning with a single press of a button. But you don't even have to do that when you tick the auto start box, because then it will resume on either real-time clock minus 12 hours, or a fixed selectable value once you apply power. Let's move on to the ACN tab. All the way up you have configuration for your local device, including sync settings, ACN channel and CJM master. Underneath you have the ACN radar that shows all devices on the same channel. We paid careful attention to allow from smallest to largest setups without sacrificing control. Introduced last year, we have the Slate tab, which also has seen a major overhaul. It only gives access to those fields that need to be managed by the clapper loader during a typical shooting day. It wouldn't be a Lockit Plus without lens data recording. We're happy to say that we closely cooperated with Cook to implement the latest version of their standard and now allow for frame-accurate recording of all the data, including inertia data, essential for VFX. When I say the Lockit Plus would maintain all the features of the former Master Lockit, this naturally holds true for remote control for sound devices 788T and 6 series. Nothing new and fancy here, but the new interface. Still, we know some of you would have been largely disappointed if we wouldn't have included it. So what about new recorders? Sorry, no. Simply because the variances are too diverse to do this close to justice. So instead, we thought of a unique feature that currently no other standalone device has and will bring you exceptional added value. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the first mobile frequency coordinator. Yes, that's right. Using a simple USB stick, the Lockit Plus will help you to manage the challenges of arranging complex multi-channel radio systems on set. And it's completely autonomous. While some manufacturers offers utilities to run on a computer, this coordination works with no installation right out of the box on any device with Wi-Fi. It's not limited to a single brand or band of radios and spans the whole spectrum. So how does this work? Step 1, you enter your equipment list. Create blocks of devices using the same frequency band and stepping. Step 2, arrange your local configuration. Which systems are you going to use on that project? Step 3, run a full spectrum scan of the local area. Step 4, you will receive a frequency coordination table for all the active systems. If you have problems, rescan with the system running. You can lock or recoordinate single frequencies or can add new systems to your setup. This all will come included with that USB stick in the Tonmeister tail, but also in the future be part of our Superslot API. So hopefully in the future we will see recorders doing a frequency coordination using our system. Closed beta is going to start later this year and the feature will be made available in Spring 21 along with the Lockit Plus. So that's our contribution for the Sound Summit Fall 2020. Thanks for watching.